Coming up, we sat down with the Vice President of Student Life, what she had to say about Greek groups on campus as well as changes to dorm life next.
And later, a day of remembrance. A state funeral will be held today honoring the 41st President, George H.W. Bush.
One Iowa wrestler made one heck of a debut. Stay tuned for sports.
Finals week is going to be a cold one. Bundle up, Hawkeyes. I'll have more in weather.
All that and more is coming up on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in to this December 5th edition of DITV. I'm Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Kaylin Cluck.
Former President George H.W. Bush will be honored with a state funeral today. A processional will depart from the Capitol Rotunda, where Bush has been laid in state since Monday at 9 a.m. They will then travel to the National Cathedral for the funeral. President Donald Trump has proclaimed today to be a day of national mourning, as the gathering will include current and former presidents as well as world leaders. Bush will be laid to rest on Thursday at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library in Texas on Thursday.
University of Iowa's Vice President of Student Life, Melissa Shivers, has been working on different decisions regarding fraternities, sororities, and residence life on the UI campus. DITV News reporter Sydney Zatz is in the newsroom to tell us more. Good morning, Sydney.
Good morning, guys. Yesterday, the Daily Iowan sat down for exclusive interview with Melissa Shivers, the VP for Student Life here at the University of Iowa. From fraternity and sorority life to learning, living communities at residence halls, Shivers touched on it all. Now, this past semester, the university saw several fraternities suspended for multiple reasons. But last month, one fraternity was suspended on allegations of hazing. Here's what Shivers had to say.
The strategic plan, I asked for us to look at the ways that we address issues of violation of the Code of Student Life and to make sure that we are being attentive to those. And I imagine that the committee will continue to take that particular issue, along with many others, into consideration.
Now, living learning communities, or LLCs, communities in the residence halls which allow students with similar interests to live near each other. There are talks of getting rid of them, but Shivers says that might not be the case. There are more different options here.
I know that we continue to look at the LLCs, and certainly students have proposed different LLCs, additional LLCs for consideration, but I'm unsure about sort of what the status of those requests are, or even, quite frankly, what we have gleaned from making those significant changes, as this will be really, I think, the first full year that we'll have made the changes in terms of reducing the number of LLCs and having more focused energy in those areas.
Lastly, Shivers touched on the importance of faculty hearing students' feedback.
I think one of the things that I would share with you all is the University of Iowa is doing some really incredible work. And we are also very fortunate to work for and with President Harold, who is supportive of us looking at the institution and recommending and making informed decisions that really help to enhance the student experience. As issues come up on our campus, I think it's just important to trust the leadership, but also to continue.
Now, for more with Melissa Shivers, you can go to dailyiowan.com. Reporting from the newsroom, Sydney Zatz, DITV News. Jacob and Kaylin, back to you.
Thank you, Sydney. The Iowa City Public Library recently opened a literary kiosk which will stay at the Iowa City Public Library through December. DITV News reporter John Chenoweth has the story.
The future is now. With just a press of a button, you can read a short piece of literature at the Iowa City Public Library for a limited time. This is the result of a partnership between University of Iowa Libraries and the Iowa City UNESCO City of Literature. I was curious if there were any other ways that the Iowa City community could interact with this kiosk, and I was quite intrigued with the answer.
I'm really excited about the opportunity for local community members to write content to put into the literary kiosks. The information or the stories that print out now are fun, but there's something about having content from local authors that I think would make it even more exciting and more appealing to our community.
I then asked another representative what the average printouts were a day and what categories you can read.
You got like 40 or so stories printed a day. The Iowa City Public Library has chosen children's literature, the feel-good catalog, and the classics catalog.
I will now give you a demonstration on how it works. Basically, what you do is you got 3 options. You can go read something for 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. And obviously, the buttons right here correspond with how long you want to read for. So say I want to read the 1 minute option. All I got to do is click the 1 minute and give it a few seconds, and it'll print me out a 1 minute piece to read right here. And then it prints it out for me, and what I got Cousin Nancy by T.S. Eliot, 1888 to 1865. There it is. I'm John Chenoweth reporting from the Iowa City Public Library for DITV News.
You know, Jacob, just walking here, I'm very glad I grabbed my hat and gloves on my way out the door.
Yeah, I know. I have a pair of gloves that will be coming in the mail, but I've been waiting over a month, so I hope I actually get them.
Yeah, you're going to need those soon. Let's toss it over to Bo in weather for more updates.
Yeah, geez, a month, Jacob. Those should be here by now, and you are going to want them sooner rather than later. Well, it's cold, and it's only going to be getting colder. You're going to have to break out those windshield scrapers and allow for more extra time for your morning commute. 37 for a high today. Tonight, we'll dip it down into that low. We're going to see it get down to 22 degrees below freezing there. Headed into the extended forecast now. Tomorrow, Thursday, it's going to be even colder, 26 for a high, and it's going to stay there for a couple days. We're going to see that low get down to 10 degrees Thursday night, and then Friday, it's going to be around 25 degrees for your high, 13 for your low. Saturday, we're going to start to see those temperatures come back up to 29, 14 at night, 32 on Sunday, finally get to the freezing point, 18 as low. And Monday, finally, above freezing, we're going to get to 33. But it's going to stay cold for about the next 4 months. So get used to it, Iowa. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thank you, Bo. The Iowa City Council will see an increase in their wages beginning in January 2020. In a 5-2 vote on Tuesday, the council decided to raise the annual salary of city council members. The salary will be raised to around $11,900, while the mayor's salary will be increased to $14,900. The last time the city council wages were increased was in 2010. City council members will also be receiving the same health insurance offered to half-time city employees in addition to the wage increase.
Hawkeye alumni Matt Whitaker was appointed under the Federal Vacancies Reform Act of 1998 by President Donald Trump. The act states that the president can appoint any high-ranking official to a position until someone else has been nominated and inspected by the Senate. This act has never been used before to appoint an acting attorney general. Whitaker now heads the U.S. Department of Justice. He was appointed acting role of Attorney General by Trump on November 7th. Whitaker graduated from the University of Iowa Law School in 1995, where he also completed his undergrad MBA. And you know, Jacob, Whitaker actually played in the 1991 Rose Bowl.
Which is pretty cool, but that has nothing to do with our sports broadcast today. We have Declan in the sports studio to tell us more about Iowa wrestling. Declan?
Whitaker was a heck of a player, but the wrestling season is just getting started, and Iowa has already been hit with the injury bug. Last week, head coach Tom Brand announced 174-pounder Michael Kemmerer would miss the entire season with a knee injury. And then on Saturday, the backup Miles Wilson's knee buckled in a freak accident. So now the team is shuffling around wrestlers at different weights, trying to fill the gap at 174. One option is for 184-pounder Mitch Bowman to move down, but Coach Brand said there's another option the team is also looking at.
We have 40 guys on our roster, and I actually had one of our athletes volunteer to go 74, and he was at a weight class way lower than that. And that shows you, and it shows me, that guys want to be out there wrestling. So we're going to fill it with someone, and that someone will go out there to win matches in a very entertaining fashion in the right way.
I prepared just the same way as every other starter. You know, I'm the guy going that day. It doesn't matter if I'm on backup or if I am the starter. It's the same mindset so that when you are called upon, you're ready to go. You know, I'm bringing my weight down just like everybody else. I'm getting the mindset. I'm fine-tuning my conditioning, and everything is the same as if I was starting that day, so that there's no surprises.
Because of the NCAA rules that regulates how much weight a wrestler can lose over a period of time, Bowman wouldn't be able to go at 174 until the Midlands Championship at the end of December. Well, there was one member of the Iowa wrestling team that had a little bit better Carver Hawkeye debut than Wilson. DITV's Jonathan Rawson has the story.
Redshirt freshman Jacob Warner had never wrestled in a duel as a Hawkeye. But this Saturday, he got a chance against Iowa State's 5th-ranked Willie Miklas at 197, and it was a thriller.
I thought I wrestled all right. I think there's more I could have done, especially later in that match, but at the end of the day, I got it done. A little too close for comfort.
Just how close was it? Warner was trailing 4-3 when he reversed Miklas with 5 seconds left to win 5-4.
If I remember, he had a leg in, locked up a cradle, and I just thought to myself, screw it, I got to do something. So kind of found myself on top. Then he rolled again, found myself on my back, and I remember thinking in my head, like, keep my left arm straight because I had, like, his legs turned or something, and if I would have dropped my left arm, he would have got a reversal for sure. So it was intense for me, but I came out of it.
On top of that, it looked like Warner might have tweaked an ankle, but he was the first to dismiss it.
He reeled it in emotionally when things were going against him, some certain things going against him physically, injury-wise, whatever. Everybody saw it.
Nothing major. No, I'm all good. I'm not hurt. So
Warner should be ready to go this Saturday against Lehigh. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Jonathan Rawson, DITV Sports.
Iowa will host Lehigh for their last home duel of the semester on Saturday. Don't forget to check that out. The Iowa women's basketball team will be taking on an in-state rival, Iowa State, in Carver Hawkeye Arena tonight. Here's what the team has to say about this matchup.
So, yep, it's the Cy-Hawk week, and that's always just a little bit more energy in the arena and at practice when it's the in-state rivalry games. And so this one obviously is very important.
I mean, this week's special. I mean, I think for everyone that, goes to university, whoever plays against Iowa State, I mean, it's a really big rivalry, in-state rivalry. We respect the program. They're a really good team, but at the same time, we want to beat them. And
once they electrify Carver, they're going to electrify us. We feed off our crowd. We feed off their energy. So they bring the energy, we're going to bring the energy. If we bring the energy, they're going to bring the energy. So that crowd is going to mean a lot to us.
Get more excited about the in-state rivals. How can you not get juiced up about playing against the in-state rivals, especially when they're good? Okay, if they weren't good, you wouldn't care. It wouldn't be as important. But when they're good, it makes all the difference in the world.
Good luck to the basketball team tonight, and be sure to come back tomorrow for the results of the game and more from DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodin on the Iowa men's basketball team matchup against Iowa State as well. Guys at the desk, back to you.
And that's all we have for you. Thank you for tuning in to the Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
And if that isn't enough for DITV, enough for you, be sure to check out the print edition of the news article on Stands Now.
For DITV, I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Jacob Gunther. Have a wonderful day, guys.